So last time on Unsealed, we talked a little bit about the Hot Shots Golf series. We got to open up two games for the PlayStation. We opened up the original Hot Shots Golf from 1998. We'll talk about this one again in just a moment. And we opened up its sequel, Hot Shots Golf 2. Now, Hot Shots Golf, the original, was developed by Camelot Software. Camelot would later go on to develop the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis series for the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo systems beyond. This is the game that I have the fondest memories of because of the time that it came out. I believe by playing a few rounds with the Funcoland District Manager, it helped give me a little bit of an edge in terms of trying to get a position within the chain and eventually become a store manager a year later. So Hot Shots Golf, I still revisit every now and again. The music still kind of plays in my head. That's why I like seeing one of the original courses in Everybody's Golf, and I've actually played that online from time to time. Hot Shots Golf 2, Camelot was no longer involved in, but some ex-Camelot employees created a development team called Clap Hands, and they're the ones that developed this game. Unfortunately, this game wasn't as well received, even though there were more courses. There were some issues in terms of some of the swing timing and play control, but overall, I thought it was a good golf game, not a great golf game, not as great in my opinion as Hot Shots, but still very good in its own right. Clap Hands, however, would not be done with the series once the PlayStation began to sunset. And that's where we go into this episode of Unsealed. In 2002, or by 2002, the PlayStation 2 was not only a thing, but was a platform that was developing quite the following. It was very popular. It was already overrunning its competition in the GameCube and the Xbox. It was destined to be a juggernaut for the rest of that console generation. So it made sense for Clap Hands to take advantage of some of the newer technology, be able to deliver graphics that were 60 frames a second, more courses, and more features. What we got was this sequel right here, Hot Shots Golf 3, published in 2002 by Sony Computer Entertainment and developed once again by Clap Hands. This game is an improvement over Hot Shots Golf 2, and it really had to be. The series was kind of in limbo after the mediocre reaction to the second game, and it's good that that Clap Hands really delivered here and gave us a really fun golf game. Interestingly, on the back, it mentions something about a national tournament mode, and again, this is when the internet was starting to lurch forward and become a part of our everyday lives. More and more people were getting connected, whether it was through dial-up, where some people still were in 2002, or a lot of people had moved up to a cable modem, so there were more high-speed internet, more available internet access, and it was really important. So when we look on the back of the box here, or the back of the case, old timers move aside, so apparently they want us to realize that golf is not just for old people. Of course, by 2002, Tiger Woods was very prominent and was far from being an old person. Get ready for fast-paced golf action. Every swing can gain you respect, as well as Hot Shots points for upgrading to the latest gear. Enjoy real competition against Hot Shots golfers across the nation in national tournament mode, and you get to visit the hotshotsgolf.scea.com website in order to find out more information. So there were 15 off-the-wall golfers, it promises, 7 trash-talking caddies, which is pretty neat to have different caddies, 6 new courses, true golf physics, and true golf fun. One of the things that interests me about this game, and something that Swing Away Golf from 2000 started to bring to the forefront, was the idea of accounting for not only elevation, but also lie, how the ball was situated on the golfing surface or on the hitting surface. If there was a little bit of a slope, like a left to right or a right to left slope, the track of the ball would change, so you'd have to adjust for that. Not only that, but the wind speed would play a factor. This is a brand new copy. It is a black label copy, which is a little bit tougher to come across than a greatest hits copy. We do have the security seal at the top here, so we're going to go ahead and open this up. Hopefully this won't take too long. I'm going to try and do this on camera so that everyone can see, because I always tend to have this problem. Let's see. There we go. This actually should be pretty easy to open. So we're going to take the seal off the bottom, just like that, and we're going to try and slide the case off, just like that. So we're going to get rid of that. I'm really excited about this. I'm a big fan of the Hot Shots games overall, but Hot Shots Golf 3 I played a lot of. Going to go ahead and take the seal off here so we can see what's on the inside. And actually, I think we're just going to open it up. And there goes the disc. 1 second. There we go. That's what happens in shipping sometimes. I should have waited, but that's okay. So when we open this up, we do have the game disc, which looks just like that. We have the manual just right here. We also have another PlayStation Underground card, which is right there, and we'll go over that in a minute. Let's take a look at the manual. So here's the manual. The manual is in full color, by the way, which again is not always the case with the PS2. And it basically just goes over the basics. There's not really a lot here that you wouldn't be able to figure out during gameplay, which is important. You don't want to spend a bunch of time with instructions. Everybody's golf or Hot Shots Golf should be easy enough for people to get into without a problem. They do mention here on the back the Calling All Pros, the National Golf Tournament. And the way that this works is there's an entry password that's available that you would be able to get once a month, and you'd be able to compete in that tournament based on your score. So that was neat. It was a way to get online without necessarily being online at the time. So it allowed more and more people to take part. This went until September 30th of 2002, so this didn't go for too long. As far as the PlayStation Underground card, these are pretty much standard by this time. Here's what the card looked like, just like this. You would get free stuff from the PlayStation Underground. By this time, the demo discs were part of the official PlayStation magazine, so the PlayStation Underground CD magazine no longer existed. A lot of those features were in OPM. Nonetheless, you would be able to get free game demos every now and again, like God of War is one that I got, Dragon Quest VIII was one that I got, and others that I would receive in the mail. So getting those demo discs in the mail were still pretty nice. In terms of what it would ask, it's really your basic stuff, name, address, phone number, date of birth, things like that. What types of PlayStation 2 games do you plan to purchase? Sports, shooter, driving, flight sim, fighting, strategy, action, adventure, music, dance, or RPG. Pretty much all of those would qualify for me, except for maybe strategy. Strategy isn't my thing. How many hours do you play on your PS2 per week? That more than 14 was me back then. How many DVD movies do you plan to purchase in the next 6 months? And that's an important point to hit on for the PS2, is that DVD movie capability was a big deal and something that really drove people to buy the PS2. It was playable out of the box, unlike the Xbox where you had to buy the DVD remote separately in order to make it run. Also, what type of internet connection do you have? Narrowband, so that's your dial-up, your AOLs up to 56K. Broadband, ISDN, cable, DSL, T1 through T3 lines, and then none. So it's pretty basic. But nonetheless, you'd want to be able to mail this in if you could. You did have to put the stamp on it so you could get some free demos out of the deal. In terms of how Hot Shots Golf 3 fits into my life, this was when I was 20 years old. I was no longer at Funko Land by this point. At this point, I was really embarking on what I was hoping was going to be a writing career, trying to get involved in the gaming press. I was on and off with writing at that time. While I was also working as a DJ on and off, starting my karaoke hosting career. So PS2, I would play a lot during the day, and at night, I would usually be out working. So I was pretty much a day gamer at this point, or on days off, I would play whenever I could. But this was a very interesting time in my life because I was transitioning away from retail. I was transitioning away from the typical job scene, and I was moving more towards what I would be doing at that point in my life, which would primarily be music-driven or entertainment-driven. Really starting in 2002 and for the next almost 10 years, I would be running karaoke shows pretty consistently. And that was one of my favorite jobs of all time. And we'll touch on that in the next episode of Unsealed when we open up yet another sealed game. And it will be another Hot Shots game, just to let you know. We got a couple of more of those to go. So thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully the disc is okay. I'll have to make sure I check on it. That's one of the perils about these, is I can't edit it. Once I open a game, I am set to finish the video no matter what happens. So sorry about some of the pacing, but we'll try and do better next time. And until that next time comes, see you later, everybody.